Hello again, everybody. Gary Ferman and Matt Shodell here, and today we are talking about a very interesting topic, and that is it fair to expect Lance Guidrys' defense to perform even better in 2024 than it did in 2023? And Matt, I'm going to keep this one simple, and I am going to say no, it is not fair to expect that. You lost your best defensive tackle in Leonard Taylor. You lost your two starting safeties in James Williams and Cam Kinchins. And you got question marks all across the board, really, when you look at the defense. Who's going to stand out at defensive tackle? We don't really know. I mean, you're relying on Jared Harrison-Hunt. You're relying on a transfer from NC State, CJ Clark, a couple of transfer portal guys in Cook and Alston. So, I don't know, man. Like, you got to have defensive tackles to be dominant on defense. Now, the picture's a little better at defensive end with Ruben Bain, obviously, coming back. You're hoping Akeem Messidor can make it back from injury. Same thing with Nigel E. Kelly. But to me, question marks up front. Linebacker, you've got Francisco Magoa coming back, but still inconsistent. Wesley Basaint is there. We don't know, what to expect. And you're going to be relying on some of those freshman linebackers from last year. Somebody there needs to step up. So, I'm not totally sold that Miami is good enough there at linebacker, and certainly at defensive back, where you got a couple really, really good transfers that are coming in. But you're the first to debate on the wordiness of transfers. They haven't always worked out the way you would expect at Miami. So I see a lot of question marks across the board, Matt. What do you say?
I mean, I don't care about the personnel so much. I mean, the big picture, people act like Lance Guidry, like he invented Subway's foot-long cookie or something, like he's this miracle worker and he can do anything. When you look at this story this morning, you'll realize it was just an average defense. Over the last 10 years, which have not been good for Miami, his defense this past year was sixth best in scoring defense. There were 5 defenses in the last 10 years that ranked higher than NCAA in scoring defense than his did. He was 5th in total defense over the last 10 years. So, I'm not here to heap praise on him. Like, yeah, they should be better. That's not good enough. Middle of the pack over the last 10 years on a bad team. He better be better. Like, I don't care what you're saying about, they're missing this personnel, that personnel. If they're not better than the midway point, which they are right now in 2023, which they were in 2023, compared to the prior 10 years that sucked, then I don't need to sit around watching these games from the press box. Like, I'll go out to dinner and watch the 5-minute highlights when I get back, because that's a freaking waste of time, man. If this defense isn't better, it's gonna be a long season, no matter what Cam Ward does.
Well, I think that, we've been talking about this a lot, but I don't think the schedule is as difficult. I mean, I don't think they have to be great to win games. I think they just have to be adequate, but they're going to need to get performances from some of these guys. I mean, Michelle Powell, for example, the transfer from Washington, he is supposed to be a proven player.
You mean Michelle?
Michelle, yeah, I'm sorry. What did I say? Michelle?
Michelle.
I'm bad with pronunciations. But he is supposed to be proven. He's played a lot of football. He played, on a team that went to the national title game. They are counting on him quite a bit. Well, when you turn on the tape of the game against NC State last year, for example, you see CJ Clark giving Matt Lee nightmares. Okay. You got to hope that he can bring that to Miami and build on what he did there with the coaching of Joe Salavea and Jason Taylor. Who else? I mean, another guy that pops up in my mind is Josh Horton. He was such a promising recruit, was limited year one because he had to have shoulder surgery, and now he's supposed to be 100%. Is he going to be ready to compete this year? So, like, I could go on and on and on. I won't. But we do cover a lot of it in the story that's on the website today. But is it a guarantee to be a better defense? Absolutely not. I don't believe that unless some of the young guys really step up and develop, and that's really going to be a theme this year, Matt, for the team, in that they need, some of these young kids from the last two recruiting classes to step up and become at least close to impact players.
That's your theme? That's your theme for the season?
That's it, man.
Bad guys become role players. That's a great theme.
We don't know if they're good or bad yet, is my point. We have no idea.
I didn't mean bad. I meant young players. Young players become role players. Look, at the end of the day, you need championship level play. Like, my theme is never going to be anything short of championship level play. So if I'm having a theme for the season, it's that they better have 11 starters on offense, 11 starters on defense, and a second team that's not that far behind that's playing at a championship level. Because otherwise, what's the point at this point? It's his third year at Miami, third recruiting class that he's stacking on. You've got to see improvement at some point, and you don't just need young guys to play roles at this point. You need Ruben Baines to step up out of that freshman class. You need to have second-year guys who redshirted, ready to be big contributors, and you need game-changing plays on both sides of the ball. Even Miami's best defenders, Ruben Baines, great, but Francisco Mauigoa was fantastic. But as you look at the big picture with Francisco, are there those plays like the Ed Reed plays, the Sean Taylor plays? I don't know, those were safeties. The John Vilma plays. Name the great linebackers at Miami, because what those guys did was they created fumbles. They recovered fumbles, took them back for touchdowns. They had interceptions. They had all sorts of plays. And the way they use Francisco is more like he had 7 sacks or something like that, or whatever. He had a bunch of sacks, bunch of tackles for loss because they blitz him a lot. And it's nice to have sacks and tackles for loss. But in your mind as a fan right now, listen to this. Do you remember a play, other than maybe that sack at the goal line, where Francisco Mauigoa was like a difference maker and changed the game? They need game changers. And Francisco Mauigoa is probably the second best player on this defense. So I want 4 guys on this defense to be better than Francisco. And I'm not talking about Ruben Bain. I'm talking about 4 other guys. Because if not, then again, we're just wasting our time and spinning our wheels here. Like, Francisco Mauigoa should not be the bar that Miami sets for its second best defender on the defense. He's good. He's really good. But is he like championship level? I'm not ready to anoint him that. And I want other guys to be better than him.
Wow, you're sounding like me, Matt. Yeah,
you never said that once.
No, I don't. I've been saying for years, I don't see enough impact talent in this program. And, when guys that leave early, that in my mind should not leave early. I mean, Leonard Taylor should not have left early, in my opinion. We'll see. Maybe
he's going to be a first rounder.
We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. I will believe it when I see it. We'll recircle. We'll come back and discuss that in April. I don't believe Cam Kinchen should have left early. I don't believe James Williams certainly shouldn't have left early. And then
James Williams should have played linebacker. I agree. Come back and play linebacker. But Cam Kinchens, what else was he going to prove at the college level? I mean,
that he could cover like
he
safety.
He can't do something he can't do.
Has to cover. Like,
he's not a cover safety.
Going to play center field. They got to be able to match up and cover NFL receivers. If Cam Kinchens couldn't match up, if you can remind me of the numbers, I mean, it was almost like 0 for 8 or something in some games and stuff. If he can't man up and cover college receivers, how is he going to man up and cover NFL receivers? I hope he proves me wrong. I think he should have come back and continued to work on it. James Williams goes to the Senior Bowl and is trying to be a linebacker. That makes me pull my hair out. He needed to be a linebacker at Miami for 3 years. Okay.
So Cam Kinchens, first of all, Cam Kinchens, he's not a cornerback, right? He's a safety. And I think Lance Guidry did him a disservice. Let me finish. Lance Guidry did him a disservice because, yes, he was targeted 34 times and gave up 28 receptions.
Thank you.
For 472 yards and 4 touchdowns this year.
Thank you for putting those guys.
NFL, there are some NFL systems where he's not going to be covering a lot. He'll be in run support.
With the number of receivers,
he'll be roaming around, helping out over the top, which is what safeties tend to do in the NFL. Not one-on-one coverage down the field.
No, you're wrong. Safeties in the NFL.
Some systems they do.
Must be able to match up and cover like corners. They must.
Some do. But what I'm trying to tell you is there's a defensive system out there where he will be great in the NFL.
All right. Well, I hope he finds it. I love Cam Kinchens. He's a great kid. But part of the problem that Miami has is that these type of decisions keep being made year after year after year. And we're always talking about rebuilding every single year at this time, trying to find guys to fill slots that never should have been vacant. that's just, usually not good enough. I hope this year is different. The schedule is very favorable. The defense must step up. We've talked about the offense, but I still do not see personally a depth of impact talent on this roster that has proven itself, Matt. And to me, at the end of the day, you got to have impact talent to accomplish lofty goals.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. See ya.
So that's going to do it for today. Hope you guys enjoy the story here that's on the website. For Matt, I'm Gary. We'll see you guys next time.